I beg to differ. People like us, places like this, are maybe where we belong.
Ooh, I sure hope this is stylish. Anyway, on with Evan Romansky and Ryan Murphy's Nurse Ratched fanfiction. Come on, you know Nurse Ratched from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest? Yeah, that movie's a classic and all, but what if it looked like it was tied into American Horror Story? The series opens like a slasher movie, where a killer murders a bunch of clergy with a knife, and not only do we get music from Psycho after a priest jerks off, but also they throw in a little of the Cape Fear theme too. Cause, you know, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest? That's like, dude, I got this great idea for a prequel to The Breakfast Club. It'll open with someone getting their skull crushed in a locker, Mr. Vernon will be an alien, and for some reason it'll play the music from Taxi Driver. Ratched takes place in 1947 and is about Nurse Ratched's rise at the Lucia State Hospital, in which she infiltrates the place to get close to a certain patient by means of poisoning people and coaxing some patients into committing suicide. No, not like Billy, more like something out of Death Nurse. This doesn't feel like Nurse Ratched. This feels like when someone gets their hands on a property and their only gimmick is to turn everything they touch into Mommy Dearest. And I say that as someone who loves Mommy Dearest. But let's be honest, Mommy Dearest and One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, newsflash, two different movies. You can tell by looking at it that a huge amount of detail has been put into the set design, the cinematography, and the costuming. And that's just it. That's all the show is. This isn't like a hospital, it's like she got hired on as a staff member at the Overlook Hotel. When she walks in on a nurse banging someone in a perfectly lit green room, it's like a ghost is going to step out of a bathtub. I don't know how good cinematography and good costume design can be a flaw in something, but they figured out a way. It's beautiful, but shallow. The characters don't act like people who would genuinely be wearing things like this. They're acting like walking, talking costume design illustrations. I don't feel like I'm watching a story play out. I feel like I'm watching a collection of storyboards put to motion, because the characters are thin. So many of the patients act like they were hospitalized from trying to out-camp each other to death. When the nurses argue with each other about a peach, they look like people who, when they die, they're gonna go on to become ghosts that lurk in the background of an Insidious movie. Granted, it is certainly a show where subtlety is the furthest thing on its mind. There's a scene where Cynthia Nixon flirts with Nurse Ratched by teaching her how to eat oysters. There's a part where a mass murderer is given soap to shower and says, "I like the feeling of soap up my balls." Everything that it's doing, from its themes of old-timey medicine, mental health, and sexuality, was all done way, way better in American Horror Story Asylum with the same actress and same creator. I'll give Ratched a C-, because sure, it may be pretty to look at, but while it thinks it's Hitchcockian, complete with Brian De Palma-like editing, it doesn't realize it's really a cure for wellness. Alright everyone, thanks for watching. Subscribe to our channel, follow us on Twitter at The Cinema Snob, plus we got reviews coming up later on today for American Murder and Welcome to Sudden Death, so see you then.